This video will cover the proper washing techniques to ensure that you get the best finish on your car. The first thing you need to do is assess what dirt and contamination are on the surface of the vehicle, whether it's bird droppings, dust, mud, dirt, or just general road debris. The first thing we're going to do is clean the wheels. We need a grit guard, a large easy detail brush, a smaller easy detail brush, a short bristled detailing brush, car washing shampoo, a fallout remover, and a non-acidic wheel cleaner. We start by putting the grit guard into the bucket, then I prefer to put all of my brushes in there, then use the car washing shampoo on top of those and fill with water. The grit guard in the bucket helps because when you clean wheels they tend to get really dirty. What this will do is trap the dirt at the bottom of the bucket, which makes sure that it doesn't go back onto the brushes that you're using to clean the surface of the wheel. You can also use the 2-bucket method, which will be described later on in the video when cleaning wheels. This will help even further. First we're going to use a fallout remover. In this case we're using Autobrite Direct Purple Rain. What this does is create a chemical reaction between any bonded on iron contaminants. Iron particles on wheels can come from anywhere, but it mainly comes from brake pads and brake discs. What the fallout remover does is creates a chemical reaction between the iron particles, which then dissolves them, turning them purple, which means you can then rinse them away. We leave the product to sit for 10 minutes. You don't want to let it dry onto the surface. If it does, it can be removed, but you will take a little bit more work. Then we give the wheels a coating of the non-acidic wheel cleaner and let that soak in for a couple of minutes. Using the large easy detail brush, I clean the backs of the wheels and inside the spokes. This just removes a lot of the heavy contamination and dirt from the insides of the wheels and the insides of the spokes. Once I've done that, I then use the smaller easy detail brush to clean inside the spokes, the back of the spokes, and little bits of inside of the wheel that I may have missed with the larger brush. Finally, I use a short bristled detailing brush to clean the face of the wheel. You can also use a wash mitt for this purpose. The whole wheel is then rinsed with either a high pressure hose or a pressure washer. I've commonly seen people saying that their car isn't clean after using snow foam. This is because snow foam is designed as a pre-wash. It's not designed as a final wash. It's used to remove any surface dirt and dust prior to washing, thus minimising scratching and paint damage when you do finally come to actually physically touch the car with either a wash mitt or a wash pad. Here we're going to use Autobrite Direct Hell Shine Devil's Blood pre-wash snow foam with an Autobrite Direct foam lance. You need to put around 1 inch of snow foam liquid into the snow foam lance bottle. I used slightly over 1 inch in this example because the pressure washer I was using at the time wasn't very powerful, and this is a way of getting thicker snow foam out of a less powerful pressure washer. Then top up with hot water and shake to mix. There are different types of snow foam. The idea is that the snow foam loosens the dirt on the surface, enabling it to be rinsed away prior to washing. Once you have your snow foam lance attached to your pressure washer, simply cover the car from top to bottom with the snow foam. You want to try and get a good even coverage. Once you've got a good coverage, allow the snow foam to dwell for 10 minutes. Once you've left it for 10 minutes, then you just need to rinse off with a pressure washer. For the washing, we're going to use a grit guard and a wash pad. The 2 bucket method is a method used in detailing where you use 2 buckets to wash your car. You've got 1 bucket with clean water and 1 bucket with soapy water. In the bottom of both buckets you'll generally have a grit guard. Sometimes you may choose only to use 1 grit guard in the rinse bucket, but the proper way to do it is to use a grit guard in each bucket. The idea of the grit guard is that when you rinse off your wash pad or wash mitt, the grit goes into the bottom of the bucket and the grit guard keeps it down there so it doesn't go back onto the wash mitt or wash sponge, therefore reducing surface scratching. Fill 1 bucket with clean water. This will be your rinse bucket. Fill the other bucket with soapy water. This will be your wash bucket. Always put the wash pad or wash mitt into the rinse bucket first, giving it a thorough clean through and then putting it into the soap bucket to continue washing. When using a wash mitt or a wash pad, always use straight lines when washing the car. This will reduce the swirl marks in the paint. When you finish your section or panel, rinse the pad in the rinse bucket first to remove any surface dirt, then you can dip it into the soap bucket and continue washing. To dry, we're going to use a large microfiber drying towel. There are a couple of different methods to removing the surface water using a drying towel. I prefer to lay the drying towel across the surface and then rub the towel gently to remove any surface water. There's also the method where you can pat the towel to remove the surface water, or some people do like dragging the towel across the paint surface. However, I'm not a fan of this method because I do think it may incur scratching. Once you've finished drying the surface, you can then go around with a quick detail spray just to freshen up that finish.